that's kind of the mentality you got to take.
So what was your reaction that Mack Rhoades is leaving?
Well, I was in a room. I said, "Really? He just got here?" So I just found out 10 minutes ago, probably the same time you guys found out. So yeah, it's kind of like that. It was kind of just, probably gone already. But then just not much.
What are your thoughts on the leadership at you got interim president, interim chancellor?
That was my first question. So, he's going like, well, we're getting a new athletic director. Who's responsible for hiring that? Thought about it. I said, do we have any sort of leadership? And they're like, well, we got interim guys. I said, that's good. But the people who have those jobs and those positions are there for a reason, and I'm sure that we'll get it all figured out.
Did you have much relationship with Mack Rhoades? What was your impression?
Apart from a few conversations I had with him when they were going through the process of hiring a new coach, that's pretty much all. Obviously after that, me and him were familiar with each other. He was brand new. So I would, we'd say hi in passing, but other than that, I know with the new football coach, with the new baseball coach, he's been a busy man. He's been flying all over the place. So I didn't have an opportunity to have a great relationship with him, but I knew him.
When he was hired, he said Mizzou was a destination spot. As you mentioned, he's gone in 14 months. Any thoughts on the fact that, you mentioned he's gone so quick? Is that?
Yeah, things, things can change. The best way to describe it is like, he may have said it was a destination at one point, and maybe he felt like he got a better opportunity. Maybe he's got outside reason for one. Maybe his family's there. Maybe his family likes Texas more than they like Missouri. Whatever it is, he's obviously got a reason, and you gotta respect the guy for that. It's his career, it's his job, it's his choice, and you just feel happy for him that obviously he's doing something he wants to do.
Coming in the media days, you kind of know the questions you're going to be asked. Was it harder to find out about this 10 minutes ago and then know you're going to come and face all these questions now?
Yes and no. I don't think much of it, to be honest with you, as far as answering questions. I know the media relations people who I am with don't feel the same exact, they're not as calm as I am about this. I don't have many answers for you on Mack. It's so new, and he wasn't around for it.
Michael, for you guys who have been part of 2 divisional championship teams, what's it like? Is it hard to be suddenly in this rebuilding mode or whatever it is you guys are in now?
I certainly wouldn't call it rebuilding mode right now. I think we have a ton of talent, and we're going to make a lot of noise this year. What's tough is being at the top and then back down to the bottom. But I think that kind of stuff makes you tougher. I think the more adverse things you can go through and make it out alive and live to see another day. I'm still here, still breathing. I think that in the long run, it's going to make me tougher with things that come along later in life that may be hard to deal with. And now, I think you had 2 great, awesome SEC East championship seasons. Then you go to last year, and I think maybe some guys who were new to our program came in seeing, hey, we win back-to-back championships. We walk in, we're going to win another championship. Well, they weren't there when we had our first 5-7 season. And they didn't see what happened between that season and the next season that got us to the SEC championship game. And they're seeing that now. Now they're seeing that, okay, I can't walk in the door and show up and make it to the SEC championship game. This league is too hard, and it's not going to happen. And so I think kids want to do great for themselves, and they want to see this team win, and that's causing them to put in a lot more extra work. Nobody wants to be the team at the bottom. I don't want to go home to St. Louis and hear about how bad our season was. I don't want to have to go home and kind of hide out because I don't want to talk about that kind of stuff. I want to go home and people react to me like they react to me when we were winning so many games, And I think people are seeing that, and they're working to get back to where we were.
Because you mentioned going back to St. Louis, what was it like last year to go back after not only having the record but also just everything else that was going on in Columbia at the time?
I'm not going to lie, it was tough. And it was tough because that's the way I felt about it. My friends, everybody treated me the same. Obviously, they asked a ton of questions. My whole family, everybody that knows me that I came across in St. Louis, they approached me the same way. But in the back of my head, That's what I'm thinking. I play, you know, do I come out and tell these people, you know, who I am? Do I say, hey, I'm Michael Scherer, I play for Missouri football, or do I just kind of keep that a secret, you know? Yeah, and it was all in my head, but you definitely don't want to have that feeling of trying to decide what you should do. You know, it's better to win games and not care than people come up to you and want to be your friend all the time.
How have things changed on campus since? What's been different for you guys since then? I know you get this question a ton, but still.
Yeah, and the thing I can tell to you is what was drawn up to be going on campus was kind of like a novel. You know, there was a night actually when things got very bad, and you know, we weren't practicing, we weren't working out or anything, and there were things, you know, you open up your Twitter, and I thought it was World War III going on outside of my house, and then I drove across campus and there's not a soul there, and I'm like, this is weird, you know. I thought if I was going to go out here, I got to protect myself. So some of those things are kind of just drawn up and throughout the media through people tweeting things that maybe were not necessarily true. The hostility on campus never was bad. Never was bad. It was just kind of, there's an issue present that needed to be dealt with. And ever since then, it's back to normal.
Having dealt with that issue on campus, has that changed your perspective